and welcome back to another episode of the Nationals franchise. I know you guys might be confused, but yeah, this is a new episode without a 3-week to month-long break in between. I know, crazy times we're living in here. But like I've been saying, we gotta ramp it up. We gotta come out with these episodes more frequently if we want to finish this season and be able to sim a few more seasons before 24 comes out. So here we are. I do, however, though, have to put some work in to try and keep myself tethered in a bit more and not let myself extend one of these videos to 41 minutes long like the last one was. There's no need. But if you were around for that last one, after a bit of playing through that, I was saying how I might change up the way we get through the season again, and I think I am, because I felt pretty good about how last episode went. So I think the new strategy for getting through this season, instead of just saying like, you know, here's the date on the calendar when we get to a certain spot in the rotation and that's the game I'm playing no matter what, we're just gonna pick maybe 4 to 5 series worth of games on the calendar and then sim through that chunk. And then as we're going through, if we come across an interesting game or just a game where I want to see a certain pitcher get a start, or just pick one game basically out of that chunk of games, and that's the one that we'll play in full, and all the rest we'll sim through, and if a critical situation pops up, we'll play that critical situation. So for today, that means we're going to be finishing the month of May. We're going to play this Atlanta series. We're going to play this Boston series, which takes us into June. Then we're going to play the Mets, the Cubs, and then we're going to extend it to this 2-game series against Toronto. There's still a lot of time until we get to Toronto, but I'm assuming just because based on the records, Toronto's like the only really good team out of this group of games, that's probably where I'm going to save the full game to. But I also wouldn't be surprised if I end up playing a game against the Mets, because that's a division rival. But as far as where we're at as the Nationals, we just can't seem to get it going. I mean, we're still right there at slightly above 500, but we just can't put anything together consistently. I mean, you look at this month of May, couldn't string together more than 3 wins at a time, but at the same time, our longest losing streak was also 3 losses, and it's kind of the same thing going all the way back. We just can't really string anything together consistently to fully establish our record as a record that the #1 ranked team should have. And real quick, we're not going to wheel and deal again here to start, but I do have a move that I want to float past you guys before I actually do it. If we do it, it might be in next episode. But I mentioned about how Sir Anthony Dominguez was struggling. He had a couple blown saves back to back, which has brought his season ERA all the way up to 4.86. I guess he only had the one blown save, but the other one he gave up multiple runs and then got taken out so that somebody else could finish the save, which shouldn't be happening for your 9th inning guy, your closer. And I mean, this is our 2nd season having him, and if we look back to last year, it's not like he was all that great anyway. Like, he was solid enough, but a 3.75 ERA out of your closer, you know, So I floated the idea, at least, of using the fact that we now have 6 starting pitchers to only fill 5 spots. We could maybe use the odd one out to get some kind of big closer arm. And I think I've found an interesting deal. But actually, I was about to get right into it, and this is where the runtime already starts ballooning, because I feel the need to explain everything. But the other thing I was looking at is offensively. We've got James Wood up in the bigs for his rookie year. He only starts against lefties, and you'll just have to trust me because I'm not going to go into it. But when I looked at his splits, he is actually hitting lefties better than he's hitting righties. The problem is he's just not hitting either side very well. I mean, he's 93 ABs into his career, and he's batting under 200, 581 OPS. So I'm thinking about sending him back down before he just has a really bad year and maybe his development's thrown off. And if that was the case, we need somebody else to bring up, and I don't really feel like I have any outfielders in the minor leagues that would make sense to fill this role. Like, I do have Alex Call, who I could call up. It's just he doesn't hit lefties well, so that would leave me with the decision of having to put either Abrams starting against lefties, who obviously he doesn't hit lefties well, or Alex Call, who would be a worse fielder and doesn't hit lefties well. So then, with that all in mind, this is how I built my trade. If we go to the Giants, they have Camilo Doval, and we would have him for this year and next year of team control with him being arbitration eligible. So we throw him in. On our side, we throw in the odd one out Mackenzie Gore, but then to also fill our need of picking up another outfielder who also could start against lefties, we find a very familiar face also on the Giants in Victor Robles. He was on this Nationals team for the first season and then half of the second season. He would have another year on his contract also, and he's still young, he's still improving, but it's that 82 contact against lefties with still really good fielding that would fit our team perfectly if we send down James Wood. So we throw him in, and then on our side, we have Drew Mendoza. They're looking for third baseman. Drew Mendoza would actually be their new best third baseman. He's 28 years old, still in the minors, but he's got himself all the way up to a 70, and he is lighting it up in AAA this year. So we add him. They would be interested in this deal straight up, but then I was getting a little greedy. They're also looking for relief pitchers, and we have a couple extra of those. So if we throw in Ronaldo Lopez, who is in the minors right now, and he's a couple spots behind to get called up if we have injuries, he'd probably be like my third option to call up. So if we throw him in, who would turn into a pretty solid arm in the bullpen for them. We could also throw in this prospect 19-year-old B potential 61 overall with good stamina. The only problem is I click on that, I build the trade, and it says they think they should be getting more value than what I'm offering. But the problem is with that is when I initially built this trade, right after I finished recording the last episode, I took a screenshot of it so I'd remember how I built the trade. So now take a look at this screenshot here. This is the exact same trade, but for whatever reason, at the exact same point in the year, I didn't sim anything else. We were on the same date, same time, same trade, and at that point, they thought that it was a good move for them. So I don't know how it's different, but maybe, you know, if I'm not planning on making this trade in this episode right away, and I'd be putting it off till next episode anyway, which I would be doing. I'm not going to pull the trigger on this right now. Maybe that changes back and it works. But if it doesn't, I found one more option that we could do. We could still get Doval. We could still get Victor Robles. We just have to take out Johnny Papas here. But then what we could do is instead of getting rid of our 27-year-old A potential who's an 83, we could take him out, throw in Josiah Gray, who I will admit, you know, has a better track record with us, but he's really struggling this year. He's also capped out. Like his overall is not going to get any higher with his potential. So we could throw him in. We wouldn't get that extra starting pitcher prospect, but we also don't have to get rid of Lopez. We can get rid of like any relief pitcher and they would be interested. So I mean, you know, we could even throw in this D potential guy here and that would get us the same move. So we'll have to see, you know, if that other trade gets back to the point where they'd be interested and we could add another pitching prospect at the expense of getting rid of Gore. Maybe that's the move. Otherwise, maybe this is the move, or maybe no move is the move, because if I do make a move and then one of our starting pitchers gets hurt, we don't really have anybody ready to just get called up and fill in that fifth starter role. I just can't believe that one of the first things I say is I got to keep the runtime of these episodes to a reasonable amount, and then I immediately ramble on for 10 minutes about a potential trade that I'm not even going to make. So let's get started then actually making our way through the season here. I didn't sim this off day, so we can just get through that. And then I don't know what's going on with Atlanta, but they are struggling this year, so hopefully we can capitalize on that. We got Cade Cavalli out there. He's trending in the right direction. Let's have another good start. Let's a win. 7 runs allowed though. Well, okay, his ERA went down, so it's a good enough start. Only 2 home runs though in a 12-run game. We drew 10 walks. That's a good day at the plate. All right, so we're back up to 2 games over 500. Let's make it 3. Let's win this series before the last game. And we have a critical situation, a 1-run lead, top 9. And we have Sir Anthony Dominguez in, so I guess this is a good chance to see him if we're looking to bring in another new closer. You know, it's nice to get an opportunity with the guy we do have that we'd be replacing. And we'd still have Sir Anthony Dominguez. Like, it's not like I included him in those trade options, so we'd still have him as a really nice bullpen arm. So our bullpen would just get stronger if I made those trades. Like, that needs to be a swing though. Both of those could just be a strike. There's no way that you let that get past you, Casas. There we go. We got Sean Murphy way out in front that time. Oh, and we got Vaughn Grissom looking. What are you waiting for? That was a challenge pitch, and he didn't even swing. Man, I really don't know how this Braves team is struggling so much. I mean, they're still good enough to have a guy like Ozzy Albies batting 7. And he's taking ball 4. Wow, that was a frustrating at bat. And now that puts the go-ahead run on first. Maybe brings up a weaker hitter, though. Okay, there we go. On the ground. Easy play for Chapman. We do wrap it up, but it wasn't, it wasn't smooth sailing. Not sure if I'm the biggest fan of that from a guy who's supposed to shut it down in the 9th. Man, we had a 2-homer game, though, from Chapman, and then another one from Soto. And then a Doan with a huge start. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, punched out 10. It does kind of seem like slowly but surely our starting pitchers are coming back around. Like, we had Cavalli up almost at a 7 ERA to start last episode. He's down to, what was it, like 5.10. Adone just put together another good start. And we won the series. We already won the series. A series sweep would be very nice here. Let's see if we can do that. We are going to have to face Spencer Strider, but he's struggling too. And Blake Snell has been our best pitcher and one of the best pitchers in baseball. So this is a good matchup. So of course we lose. We didn't just lose, we lost 14-7. But this is interesting. The D-backs are offering me a trade, and it's just straight up outfield prospect for outfield prospect. What do we got here? Emmett. Oh, they're really gonna make me think about this. I feel like every time in the past when I've played a franchise and the CPU offers you a trade, it's usually never a good trade. But this one is intriguing. Okay, he's already in the MLB, though, with 2 of his 3 minor league options used up. So we could send him down this year, which I probably would, but then after this year, he would have to stay up, or else we'd have to pass him through waivers. But he's an A potential, 22-year-old with good contact, especially against righties, nice clutch. Not the best in the field, but he is a left fielder, so that's a little less important. Solid discipline and vision. And Elijah Green, even though they're the same age and Elijah Green's a higher overall, he's still only a B potential. And also, Green's had his trouble developing throughout this March to October into franchise mode. I don't know. The only reason I'm not feeling like this is all that necessary to do is just the fact that I always kind of have viewed Elijah Green, especially as his hitting development hasn't gone great. I've kind of viewed him as that speedy, good fielding outfielder on the bench for the future, because he's already got that down. And if we get rid of him, this new guy doesn't really fill that role, and the role that he does fill, which is an A potential outfield lefty, we already have 2 more of those that are probably better, especially Evan Carter is better. So man, I've never had to put this much thought into a CPU proposed trade, but I don't think I'm going to do it. So how did we lose here? It looks like Snell had a pretty bad start. I mean, we did fine offensively. 7 runs is always good, but what happened? All right, well, at least it's another series win. That's 2 in a row after 2 series losses in a row. We've got another bad record team that we're facing here, and Josiah Gray on the mound, the one who's potentially on the bubble for a trade. Let's see what's gonna happen here. And we have a critical situation, and look what he's putting together. He has heard the rumors. He has heard that I'm potentially shopping him around, and he's out here with a 2-hit shutout going into the 9th. Let's finish this off. 81 pitches to start the 9th inning. He's got plenty of energy. All right, Gray, I see you. And there we go. Weak on the ground, right to Casas. There's 1. Another weak grounder. We got Trevor Story that time. 1 to go, Gray. Look at how much gas he's got left in the tank, too. I know this definitely is because the game up until this point was simmed. Because if we were 90 pitches in with him in a start that I played in from beginning to end, he would have like nothing left right now. There we go. Can't hold up on the circle change. Gray ends it with a punch out. What a start from him. He heard the rumors, and now he's going to go out there and perform. All right, Gray. That's got me kind of fired up here. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's take another series before it goes to the final game. We got the last game of the month. This will be, I think, Bobby Miller's 4th start. So let's see what he can do. And it's going to be another critical situation. We got to walk it off. We have 2 on, Juan Soto up, and nobody out. This is a spot here, guys. We got a lefty-lefty matchup here from Soto, but it's 99 clutch rating active. I don't know why they have Alex Wood out there for his third inning. I probably should have been swinging at that. No, that can't be what I just did. Oh, go home, win it not an error. Oh my God, it goes from a double play, jeopardizing our chances to walk it off right there, to that just being the walk-off. Man, that feels kind of weird to be, you know, mugging Juan Soto after what should have been a double play, but I guess he did it. I feel like our offense has been playing really well so far in this episode. Like, been putting up a lot of hits, and for the most part, getting a lot of runs across. It's just our pitching is kind of struggling to not give up a ton of runs. Outside of Josiah Gray now, apparently. All right, well, that's another series win. That also takes us to the end of the month, and we got to set our scouting for another week. I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave everything as is here, even though the whole reason I had this pitching one set up was for one guy, and now we got him full, but we can still fill up some more scouting meters for those Central Region pitchers. We're now in second place in the division, and the fact that it's the Mets now in first because the Phillies have really struggled kind of makes me feel like the plan has changed, and I'm gonna want to play one of these 3 games against the Mets here, if they're who we're trying to chase down. But let's get this last game against Boston. I guess technically that wasn't the end of the month yet. It was just weird how the calendar was laid out. So let's end the month now. Cade Cavalli needs to continue in the right direction. And, well, that looks like a pretty good direction to me. Let's see what we can do here. This first batter is actually somebody that was on our team, and I traded away back in the March to October. We have, I tried to say, but I think that just kind of came out as, we have a lot of energy left for Cade Cavalli to do this. He is no stranger to no-hitters and perfect games and all that sort of stuff in his career. So if he can add another one on here, or if we can blow it immediately on a late blooper that we should have thrown him out at second. Well, that's fun. That's a fun way to end it. Well, we're player locked here, so it's all on the CPU manager to take me out whenever he wants to take me out. And we still have a lead, so they got 3 runs here to work with. There we go. We do manage to get a punch out to end the inning. If I was in control here, which I could be if I wanted to, but I kind of want to stay player locked. If I was in control, I'd probably call it there. We don't have the no-hitter anymore. Just get the bullpen in. But it looks like that's not how it's going to go. I don't know. Now that I do have the control to step in if I want to, I'm not going to hesitate if we get into any sort of trouble to get a new arm in this game. There we go. Weak contact. Oh my God, I thought that was going to get a punch out. Can we run over there though? All right, we are going to get there. I always hate when you're player locked as a pitcher, no matter how quick you move the analog stick to try and run over there. They always like take a moment before they take off. We are into the yellow energy though, so one way or another, I'm gonna assert myself here, and after this batter, Cavalli is going to be done. So we may as well sit this batter down, get you through a full 8. And there we go. We'll do exactly that. Devastating curveball. Cavalli gives me 8 scoreless, 1 hit game. And oh, it says Cade Cavalli was relieved anyway. So CPU manager on the same page as me. And I guess we get to watch this game sim to the end. We just couldn't keep the shutout, could we? 2 doubles given up from Dominguez, but hey, it's another save. How about Cade Cavalli, though? We started last episode with him being a major problem, up at like a 6.80 ERA, and in probably 4 starts, maybe 5 starts since then. We're gonna have to see officially, but he's gonna probably have his ERA drop down well into the 4s. And yeah, it is gonna say up at the top there, his ERA is down to 4.50. So I just got done looking through everybody, because usually at the beginning of a new month is when you see big jumps in progression, in attribute development, if there are going to be any, and there really isn't any, but the one that we have to talk about is a negative one, because Ian Happ is having a rough season, and not only are his numbers starting to go down, but the potential, it dropped. He was an A potential. I don't think he was still gonna get there, because he is 31, still would have needed 4 more overall to get up to a 90, but now with that dropping down to B, that's gonna hurt him a bit. I really thought this was a safe bet to be a player that would stay good for the entirety of his contract, especially with, I mean, the last season, but really the 2 seasons we've had him on the team, but I don't know what's going on with him. But we're about to start our series against the Mets, and we're a game and a half back of them in the division, so I kind of want to sim game 1, and then if we win, game 2 will be the game that I play, because this will be the game to put us out in front of the division. So we've got a Yohan Adon versus David Peterson matchup to start the series, and Adon has also been starting to trend in the right direction, so another big start out of him, please. Okay, at least we have a chance to win it here. It's the 10th inning, so we brought around our free runner. Now I'm going to be hopping into this game with Seranthony Dominguez, who's been shaky, and not only does he have to give us a scoreless inning, but he has to do it with a free runner on second and nobody out. So we really need to lock it down here, Seranthony. We need strikeouts, especially to start. Okay, there we go. Couldn't hold up. Slider went way outside, but it got him. Now it's the top of the order, though. Now is where it gets a little bit more difficult. Oh, there we go. We got him. The jam pop-up is going to hold him at second. We just need one more. Chapman, we got to make this play. He scooped it up. We're going to get it there, and we did it. Seranthony Dominguez can still survive something like that. He still got it in him. So there we go. Wrapping up that win puts us a half game behind in the division, and for what I think will be the first time this season, we're going to have a chance to take the lead in this NL East division. So we're finally putting it together, guys. We're on a 4-game winning streak right now. We're 8-2 in our last 10, and we'll be hopping into another game with our ace on the mound. Blake Snell has turned himself into our ace for the season. Had a rough start in his last game, so he's looking to bounce back. He's got a chip on his shoulder. And here we go, the full game of today's episode. We have the 34-28 Nationals versus the 34-27 Mets. Current first place in the division on the line. Winner takes it. And I'm excited to get things going here, man. We got to face Tyler McGill, a righty. We've had so many good lefty hitters on this team right now. Our top 3 hitters in this order against the righties are playing at an absolutely insane level right now. And come on, get down. Get down, Abrams. He's going to do it again. Another leadoff base hit, and he was being a pest. And come on, get down also. It will. I could have sent Abrams if I knew he was going to bobble it, but we'll take runners on first and second, nobody out, and both of them have been pests. I think we've seen 15 total pitches. Soto, that's going to drive in a run. I'm going to keep Garcia at second, though. Not going to run ourselves into an out, but how about that? 3 singles in a row to start the game, and we have a 1-0 lead. And now Meneses, that's another single. I have to hold up Garcia, though. 50 speed's not going to get us home on that one, but 4 singles. Back to back to back to back to start the game. Oh, and then Happ, I just got under it. That should still drive us in another run, though. 50 speed with how deep that was is going to be plenty. I probably could have sent Soto to third, but I wasn't thinking ahead. But I'll take my 2-0 game. Anytime you can give your starter a lead before he even throws a pitch, though, is very good. Especially when that starter is Blake Snell, pitching at the level he's been pitching at for the most part to start this season. And that's a great way to start. Weak roll over to first. Oh, there we go. How about that spot? First punch out of the day now. Oh, and then we go up and into Nimmo. Couple punch outs. 1-2-3 inning after putting up 2. That's my favorite kind of first inning. Oh, I'm grounding out. I'm on top of that. Need to get back to making good swings on these pitches. The game started out so nice, and now I haven't done that in a while. Oh my god, I'm getting under it with Keibert Ruiz. If anybody needs help, it's him. I mean, after seeing now Ian Happ with a bad season having his potential knocked down, I'm kind of scared that Keibert Ruiz, with how bad of a year he's having, he's never made it up over an 80 overall, so if he gets his potential knocked down to a C, that's going to force a lot of changes to our plans. Man, I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at the stats up on the Jumbotron. Doesn't it seem like with how much Abrams gets on base, he should have more runs scored than that? What's up with nobody driving him in? We drove him in myself in the first inning. That was a really good swing. I didn't see that until right before it went away. How was that not more? Ooh. Come on, Soto, or we're not even going to get there in time. Man, he waited me out enough to go back to the fastball on a 2-strike count, and he was ready for it. Okay, I feel like I can't get strikeouts anymore all of a sudden. I've had every batter this inning to a 2-strike count, and none of them has struck out. I'll make that now all 4 batters in the inning, and we're giving up another base hit. Okay, well, he does swing the bat, so that brings it up then to all 5 batters in the second inning. We get to 2 strikes and don't strike a single one of them out. Garcia, that is going to get past Lindor. That's a really bad animation for a diamond fielder. Oh, that's actually a nice swing. That could get... Oh, it's going to do something at least. I didn't know what that was doing. Both him and Garcia are 2 for 2, and we're knocking on the door of more runs. Oh, Meneses, no. That was a freebie. That was a 12-6 right down the middle. Oh, no. I tried to check swing, but it was never going to be one. We're going to blow this second and third with nobody out. Chapman, you got to come through for me. I am going to blow it, even with a nice swing to end it that had nothing behind it. Ooh, we got McNeil way out in front. Open up the strikeout floodgates again, and here we go. There we go, another one. Strike out the side after failing to get any strikeouts the inning before. Quick stamina check on McGill. He's just under halfway. I checked earlier, he has a 74 stamina rating, so that makes sense. All right, there we go. Casas, get yourself that leadoff walk. Oh, that got me. I was out in front of it, so I was at least trying to hold up in case it ended up out of the zone. And I'm not that lucky. There's another one, Ruiz. Another good timing swing. Solid enough PCI with nothing off the bat. I don't have any answers. And there we go. Abrams is going to get himself another one. Oh, but Mr. Clutch, why do I feel like ever since we turned this into a franchise, Mr. Clutch just has not lived up to the name anymore? Wow, Nimmo with the annoying plate appearance. Foul after foul just to get himself a weak hit. Oh my God. I shouldn't have said anything positive about my weak hits. They're going to score on this. What was Abrams doing to allow a ball that doesn't get past him to score a runner from first? Come on, ring him up. Ring him up. We got him. All right. We surrendered the lead. Let him tie it up, but Snell is powering through here. Things could be going much worse. We got to turn it on here at the plate again, man. We've got one more inning of McGill probably with low energy. Let's capitalize on it. Oh, and I'm pulling off on the fastball right there for me. There's a long AB for that disappointing result. I feel like Meneses needs to go deep here. I think he needs more than 8 home runs at this point in the season. And I got too far under it, man. Maybe we need McGill out of this game. Even the pitches he's leaving right down the middle. It's something about either his release or the break on his pitches. I'm just having a lot of trouble squaring it up. Oh, and I'm rolling over another one. That's not really a pitch you need to swing at, but it was still definitely a strike. There's also a very good chance this could be Snell's last inning based on where his energy is at. Well, I mean, unless he gets 1 pitch outs like this. That's a good start. Oh, okay, I'll take the punch out. 4 pitches to get the swing through the circle change. And a rollover. Snell might have done just enough there to earn himself at least the start of another inning. And they're done with McGill after that last one. They're going to an awesome name, Tekoa Roby. His pitch mix is pretty generic though. So let's hope his release is generic too and I can get back to scoring runs. Oh, there we go. Right back to scoring runs. Why does it feel like a game can't go by without me doing something with Matt Chapman? And Casas is going to follow it up with a base hit of his own. Diaz, that's going to drop in. I'm going to be bold here. We're going to get 19 speed all the way up to third, and he's in there. Nice. Come on, Ruiz. It's set up for you. Oh, hang on. He hit it hard. He hit it hard. I'm running. It's off the wall. Okay, I'll take the double, but man, I wanted to go deep with him. But how about that? Finally get something with K-Bear Ruiz. Okay, that's fine. That works for me. And I feel like that's going to get run down. So, man, I mean, we had a nice 3-run inning. That's definitely a positive. But once again, it feels like we fizzled out right in the middle of what should have been our big rally. But at least with the 3-run inning to give us a 3-run lead, that's definitely going to buy Snell another inning here. At least the start to this inning if he can get through it nice and easy. Oh, come on. No, not another one. That's the worst one yet. There we go. All right. Calm it down then with a pop-up. And that should be 250 speed. Running to first is plenty slow. And there we go. 6 innings, 2 full thirds of the game done with Blake Snell. That's a quality start. And he sets himself up to get a win. Okay, well, I mean, Meneses adds to his hit total. And see, that's just the difference right there. The line drive from Meneses, who's been having a good season, finds a spot to make it through. The line drive from Happ gets snagged. At least we weren't unlucky enough for that to be a double play. All right, there we go. That's a really nice swing. 3-2 count, wait back on that slider and hit it in the hole. All right, I'll take my walk, load him up for K-Bear Ruiz. I mean, hey, he came through last time. Oh, come on, drop in for him. Help him out. No, I got to get around on that. That's on me. And look at Abrams with the break on the ball. There we go. Perfect splitter there. Gets the swing through it. And another punch out on the slider. Great inning from Nick Sandlin. Bridges it to the 8th. Garcia, though. That's going to be a weak hit for him. That's not usually how he gets his hits. I feel like he usually hits the ball pretty hard. Oh my God, that might bloop in. That's going to be a 3-hit day for Meneses. Ooh, they let me hold up and they called it a ball. All right, giving Ian Happ a little bit of help there. It's going to load him up for Matt Chapman, who's having a good day. And he is going to continue that good day. I'm even sending Meneses. This might be risky. This might be close. Yeah, that was a terrible send. Oh, but we're in. Oh, I thought he adjusted and tagged me out, but no. And Casas, that's going to be another one, man. Legend difficulty. That one, though. We hit it hard, so it's an out. Keep it weak if we're going to hit it on the ground. Maybe that helps. All right, well then, with that development of getting an even bigger lead, I'm going to go to Mantiply. He seems like the guy that, for whatever reason, is the odd one out when it comes to the CPU using. So I feel like whenever I have a chance to bring him in either a spot where the matchup makes sense or a spot like this where we're way out in front, I should keep getting him some work. And there we go. Weak little bouncer over to first. There we go. He's caught looking right there. There we go. Perfectly placed backdoor sinker. He can still do that from time to time. Get on base again, though, with Luis Garcia. That's 4 times on base for him today. And Soto might have paid off that walk if that carries, and it will. That's another homer for me with Juan Soto. Just like how I said I always seem to do something with Chapman, I feel like I always seem to hit a home run with Juan Soto. There we go. 1 pitch, 1 out. Let's finish him off nice and quick here, Mantiply. Nice. Punch out. That 12-6 is always good lefty-lefty. And there we go. Caught him looking on the sinker. Mantiply finishes it out with 2 strong innings. And there is the division lead. And we're getting another critical situation here. Just trying to go ahead and sim and see if we hold on to the division, but we have a chance here to hit for the cycle with Soto. I mean, I doubt it's going to happen. It's not easy to hit for the cycle with a guy, or hit a triple with a guy who doesn't have all that much speed. But we have a 5-2 lead. I was kind of destroying Takoa Roby in the last game, so good swing here. Extend the lead a bit. Well, that's not going to be our triple, but it is a good swing, and that means it's a 4-hit game for Soto. All right, well, let's see how this one ends here. They still brought in Edwin Diaz. And then Dominguez to close it. He gives up a triple. He gives up a run. And we still win the game. But, man, can Sir Anthony Dominguez get through a clean inning when we have a multiple run lead? But how about that, though? We're going for the division lead, chasing down the Mets, and we just sweep them on the road. So now we're looking at a 1.5 game lead over the Mets in the division. We're 9-1 in our last 10, and we're on a 6-game winning streak. This is what happens when we start getting it all put together at the same time. Look at us go. We got to keep this train on the tracks here. Do it against the Cubs too. We got another critical situation. I might just skip this one. I don't need to load into every single one, and I don't care a ton about a 10-game hitting streak. But what I do care about is look at Ian Happ over on the left. He's finally doing something. He's having a good game. But we're just going to sim to the end. We finish it off. We get the win. Win streak intact. That brings us up to 7 now, and Bobby Miller giving us 7 innings. Only the 1 run allowed, 10 punch-outs, 5 hits. You love it? Keep it going. Cavalli, another good start for you. String them together here. We got a critical situation. This one doesn't look as good though. Cavalli didn't keep it going. That's all 6 runs allowed in the first 4 innings. I'm sure they're probably all charged to him. We can hop into this one being down. Maybe Isan Diaz can give us a big swing here and cut the lead down to 2. All right, well, we extend the hitting streak. He's going to hold up at second, though, but maybe a little 2-out rally. Big swing from Soto up next. I don't think that's the big swing from Soto we were looking for. Yeah. And we're getting our 7-game winning streak snapped by losing 10-2. That's a rough one. All right, we can still win the series on Sunday afternoon, though, in Chicago, and we have our 3rd critical situation of the series. Another hitting streak one. This time it's a 15-game streak on the line, but again, I'm good. These hitting streak critical situations, I don't care about enough if we have this much of a difference in score. We're up 6. Just going to go ahead and sim to the end of this one. We end up winning 13-4, and Garcia did manage to keep his hitting streak alive, so good for him. So another series win, and I am gonna get through these last 2 games in Toronto. Like I said, we're gonna get this quick little series done, and this has turned into a matchup of a couple powerhouses here. Us 38-29, Toronto 40-27. If we sweep them in these 2 games, we bring our records even. Not like that matters, we're in different leagues, but you know, for pride. We got Snell on the mound for game 1, and we have another critical situation. I am going to get into this one, though. Cabrera is trying to close things down. They have an out with a runner on. We have Soto up. It's a shame that we couldn't have like a runner on second or something with the lefty out there, because Soto has 99 clutch, but that's not active right now. Soto, come on. See? With 99 clutch, that PCI gets a little bigger. A swing like that maybe is hit a little harder, and you never know. Meneses is having a game, though. He's already got 1 bomb on the board. He hits lefties, man. That's his thing. That's his reputation. Oh, and I got fooled. Man, Snell with another rough outing, though. I don't know what's going on with him. I gave him what I thought would have been his bounce back game, but now he's bouncing back to being bad. 7 runs, all 7 to him. All right, well, 1 game left for today's episode. Another Josiah Gray start. Let's see if the fire is still lit under him, and it is not. We had a chance. I mean, it was still a very good episode's worth of games, but we had a chance to finish it strong, and we just can't do it. Oh my God, and Josiah Gray had the rough start of rough starts. 1 out recorded, and he gave up 5. Still overall a very good episode. We started last time only one game above 500. We're finishing this one 6 above with the division lead still intact. It's just a shame we had to lose 3 of our last 4 and not finish strong. But you guys, there's another episode in the books. I hope you guys are feeling like as excited and as enjoying this series as I am, because that was never my problem. I was always enjoying playing this Nationals March to October. It was just trying to throw together and edit and get it up that was causing me issues. But we're here, man. We're here till the end of the year. We're finishing this season up. We're giving these Nationals the send-off they deserve. So thanks for watching today, guys. Thanks for sticking around with me today, and I will see you next time.